TCG investments, deck engines investment. Investing in deck engines like the sticks and chairs is what we commonly call them. There's the Trap Tricks engine, Tour Guide engine, Shadowah engine, and so on and so on. There's a considerable amount of engines out there, obviously. It's good to invest in the most popular engines, the ones people use a lot. There's the Wind Witch engine, for example, the Invoke engine. So investing in engines, like you don't have to invest in a whole entire deck, core, or anything like that. This is like the opposite of a core, because a core will have more. It will have the stuff you need for the engine. The engine, like let's say you get you get some Invoke cards. A whole core would be the Invoke engine with some other Invoke cards that will help you build a deck. But this scenario is you're just investing in the engine alone. Saves you money by just investing in the engine. That way, whenever somebody wants just the engine, well, you have the engine, and it costs you a lot less to invest in that than it did to invest in a whole core. Just like how you would invest in like a playset of Abyss Megalo. An integral part of Atlanteans. You know what I mean? He's an integral part of a deck, so you invest in that. Just like when it comes to Madoches, Tiramisu and Madoche Mageline, how they will be core pieces. So you invest in some little things like that. It's within your budget. Like, would be good to invest in, because that way you can spread your money. Let's say you have enough money to buy a whole entire Necross deck. Well, instead of buying the whole Necross deck, just buy like the core, or just buy the engine, like whatever engine's in there. Buy the engine, and then put the rest of the money that you would have put to buying the whole deck into something else, to buy another engine. That way you have a whole bunch of engines that at any given time that they're worth more money because the popularity of the engine, and then there's money, like sticks and chairs, for example, that at any given moment can be popular. Clown Blade, if there's high rarity of Trick Clown, that 1,000 blades, then there you go. Yeah, that's an engine right there. That's a rank 4 engine, and it could also be a link engine if people want to use it. Just like Scapegoats and what's the thing called, Mrs. Radiance. That right there would be considered an engine. Then you got the Spiral engine, which consists of mainly the field spell and the two traps, the power trap and the battle trap. That's all you really need for the engine. Those 3 cards alone, 3 copies of each, so that's 9 cards in the deck, will function, because the field spell will make a token. The token is a normal monster. It will trigger the field spell. Field spell will get you the trap, and because you have the field spell, it counts as Umi. You can play the traps from your hand, so right there, those cards automatically work well with each other. Now, of course, you can play other stuff. Obviously, you can play that engine in a deck that has a lot of normal monsters. That way you can get the most out of it, most out of the field spell and traps. But it's a good engine myself. Me personally, I consider just the field spell alone an engine. It's a resource you play, and it can infinitely make a token that you can use for whatever you want. Obviously, you want to get the highest rarity of any engine. You don't want to just get the cheapest version of the engine and then just hold on to that. You want to get the highest rarity of the engine, obviously, and hold on to that. Anything first edition is usually popular among collectors / players. It adds more value if it's first edition. So obviously, if you want to make more money, then get first edition. It's not much to say. I'm not going to give you a list of all the different engines you can get. Obviously, you can look that up online. Anytime you see a deck that's like, oh yeah, this deck has these 3 different archetypes mixed together. Well, obviously, those are 3 different engines mixed together. So you can look in there and see which engine is most popular in the deck, like which one has the most effect, the most gives the deck the most power. Like, let's say there's a deck with an Invoke engine. The Invoke engine is the most powerful aspect of the engine. Then that's what you invest in. But if, let's say, some type of Dino engine or some Yang Zing engine is what's the most prevalent thing in that deck, then you invest in that engine because that's the most prevalent part. Just like if you see some type of deck that has the Star Seraphs, Sticks and Chair, right? That is the most common thing in some generic decks, some generic rank 4 decks, then obviously that's an engine that you want to invest in because that's the main engine in there, right? And that's the end of the video.